I'm talking about software testing. We all love it, right? So we heard talks about, whoops, almost right. We heard talks about test-driven development, and some of us even do it. There's even an upcoming talk about behavior-driven development as a lightning talk today. We create languages to better describe our tests for even non-technical people. We build servers to test in real browsers, to test JavaScript-heavy applications. We let these servers guide and guard our deployment processes. And we do all of that not because somebody forces us to or the boss says so, because if you look at Travis CI, for example, and look at all the open source projects which have no like product manager guy who forces you to write tests, there are thousands of projects which have a lot of tests. You could say what we do is apply this idea of failing early and often, which is often heard for startups, especially in the Silicon Valley, for their business models, to the software development process. Actually, if you look at test-driven development, what we do is we fail every time before succeeding. We write a failing test before writing the actual code in an ideal world. But all of this only applies to automatic testing, which is a great topic. We all love it. We do it. But it's not enough. Why is it not enough? Well, you don't develop software for machines. You develop software for real people. And these real people do not behave like you may think they behave. That's the whole reason why we have this fail early and often principle for your business model. Why don't we apply it to the code as well? Because, of course, it's hard. What we would need is real users who actually use the application, report errors back to us before they decide if they want to pay us or not. These users may have outdated software. Just think about browser versions. Think about plug-in versions. I'm not talking just about web development here. Outdated hardware or even hardware limitations you don't have on your development machines where your tests run. Or simply plug-ins, if you think about Java, Flash, if you still use it. These plugins may be even outdated, or there may be combinations of plugins or other software like firewalls, preventing your software from running smoothly on the machine of the actual user. So, what do we have to do in addition to automatic testing? Well, usually you have some kind of QA, quality assurance professionals. Well, in fact, you don't find QA professionals in small companies, in startups. In fact, what they call QA professionals are as well the developers, maybe interns, maybe friends and family, if you have some. But there's nothing, if you have them still well in a startup, that's nothing sustainable. That's nothing which can support agile development and continuous testing, for example. So what else can you do? You can do private beta tests or public beta tests, which are great. Many companies do them, and there are tools and other companies helping you with the logistics, finding and managing the crowd, the beta testers from your real customers, giving them incentives, for example, merchandise, some T-shirts or mugs. But still, this is not sufficient. This is not enough if you want to continuously develop and test your software, because the 11th mug with your logo on it is just not enough to motivate the tester to continue testing each and every new feature you present to them. So you might start thinking about paying them money. And that's what really doesn't work, because as soon as you pay them money, they will start to compare the amount of money they earn with similar jobs on the market. They will not continue to pay for a few bucks each month, and they will especially not deliver high-quality bug reports, which a developer needs. And if the developers don't get these reports and have the same error differently described for the 15th time, they just give up and say, let's stop with these private beta tests. They're not helping us, they're hurting us. So, what if? What if there were some company or somebody out there who would actually have such a crowd of testers, thousands of them, who may represent every kind of target demographic you can dream of, who manages all the testers, takes care of motivating them, incentivizing them, takes care of the quality of bug reports and all this stuff. And what if this company or service would present you a nice little web interface to allow you not just to call them, but to set up all these tests, even let them set up by your developers in a matter of minutes, to select all the devices, all the different software and hardware combinations you actually want in a matter of minutes, and start these tests and get access to thousands of testers within a few hours even. For example, let them test overnight. Check in your latest commits and deploy on some staging machine in the evening and get your error reports in the morning or over the weekend. And especially what if all this wouldn't even cost as much as one QA professional, dedicated QA professional you had to hire. This is what we do. This is what TestCloud does, where I'm the CTO of. This is what really tries to scale up. It doesn't matter if you start with just 5 or 10 testers and later you need thousands of them to actually test your software. If you want to use them while beta testing or even alpha testing, if you want your developers use them or just use them for a final acceptance testing before a release, you can do whatever you want. You can even leverage this crowd to check your business model and your product ideas before you start developing them. Because there's really every kind of target demographic in this crowd, and they're happy to give you feedback. That's it. That's my short lightning talk. That's my name. So if you want to work with us, if you want to actually use this crowd for your projects, just give us a call. If you know Travis CI, just think of us as Travis CI with real people. And if you want to make this idea happen, we are always hiring. So.